It's been a busy week, both here at the UN headquarters and out in the field. But let's start with what's happening on the ground. After months under embargo, Israel has finally allowed what it calls minimal humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip. So far, the UN has gained only limited access. Over 100 trucks carrying aid have entered. But due to the lengthy distribution process and an ongoing intensifying military operation, much of the aid has yet to reach civilians. The UN continues to stress that this amount of aid is merely a drop in the ocean.
There's no
well, we very much hope that obviously,
so far,
no such mechanism approval. Let me put it this way. The Israelis will know our trucks, they know our movements. We continue in an attempt to deconflict whatever movements that will be allowed.
This is what Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in a video. We must not reach a situation of famine, both from a practical and a diplomatic standpoint, which means that probably the Israeli government knows that what the report from UN last week is right, that the Gaza is facing a famine. What I want to ask is, they said it's a minimal humanitarian aid. Do you think for UN this minimal bar is reached? Like, does UN agree with this minimal
Well, I mean,
bar?
we agree that it's minuscule, that it's minimal, whatever other M word you want to use. It's clearly not enough.
Turning to the UN system, this week, the World Health Organization adopted the world's first pandemic agreement by consensus. How did the Secretary General respond?
The Secretary General pointed out that COVID-19 was a reminder that no one is safe until everyone is safe. He said the historic WHO pandemic agreement strengthened global preparedness against pandemics, ensures equity and solidarity in response to health threats, and upholds health as a fundamental human right.
But not everyone is on board. U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. called WHO a moribund organization and urged countries to withdraw. What's the reaction from the United Nations?
Any comments from the Secretary General?
WHO is an indispensable part of the UN system. I think anyone can see and can understand that issues of global health do not respect borders. Viruses cross national lines very quickly. I mean, we saw it with COVID. The only way to deal with global health issues is by member states getting around the table and dealing with it in a scientific way, and not a political way, in a science-based manner. And WHO provides that platform.
Now to the Security Council. This was a big week. Greece, holding the presidency, hosted two signature events. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis personally presided over an open debate on maritime security. Here's what the Secretary General of the United Nations had to say.
Respect for international law is the anchor of maritime security. The international legal regime for maritime security, with the UN Charter and the Convention on the Law of the Sea at its core, strikes a careful balance between state sovereign rights, jurisdictions and freedoms, and their duties and obligations. And it provides a strong cooperative framework for addressing crimes at sea and ensuring accountability. However, this framework is only as strong as states' commitments to full and effective implementation. All states must live up to their obligations, and they must resolve any differences in relation to maritime security in accordance with the UN Charter.
That meeting also saw a heated exchanges between the U.S. and China.
The theme of today's debate refers to international cooperation. The world should look at China's actions rather than its empty claims when judging its contributions to international cooperation.
美国打着航行自由的旗号，频繁派遣军用舰机到南海耀武扬威，并且公开在地区国家间挑拨离间。美国才是南海安全稳定的最大威胁。
Meanwhile, it's also been a week rich in cultural events here at the UN headquarters. Prime Minister Mitsotakis inaugurated the Thalata exhibition, Thalata meaning sea in Greek, with beautiful paintings from the National Gallery on display. And that wasn't the only celebration. For International Tea Day, the Chinese mission in partnership with Malipo County held an event showcasing how tea farming helped lift the region out of poverty. Also this week, the UN Postal Administration and the Palace Museum jointly commemorated both International Museum Day and the 100th anniversary of the Palace Museum, issuing a special New York event sheet. What did the guests write on the first day covers?
Congratulations on the 100th anniversary.
风华正茂，日月长新，美美与共，生生不息。
您在上面签的是什么呀？
太和充满。
And in the Palace Museum special promo video 100 Seconds for 100 Years, guess who did the voiceover? From dawn bell to dust drum, 605 years, the Forbidden City has preserved the memories of history. Well, it's a little bit surreal, but also exciting to hear my voice there. And that's all from me.